where it was so this spider webbing was like frozen nicely, but now it is starting to like unfreeze, probably also because I have the window open, right? So yeah, that's just so that cannot be correct. I think it's more like doesn't matter. So the well the first part didn't really work. I did not get any questions, and this was not even the intro. Like it was not in the full introduction. So I guess I will continue because that's really like the introduction lecture would probably be this, and I just discussed the like first 3 pages, right? And now I will continue. So like I explained again. Time point is to repeat. So to repeat. I explained again like how I mean the method is super easy, right? So you always have this kind of measurement, and you can access time point is from like Bangladesh and everywhere. That's not the issue, but it is about this value. So this X-sync or whatever you want to call it, and we discussed, so to pick a number with 4 digits is the p-value is 1 in 10,000. Now for the well, it depends on the setup, but it's more or less 1 in 200. And like with another, like roulette, you want to know how those values are distributed. So I have to pause. Well, the neighbors were super annoying tonight. So yesterday they were like up until 2 a.m. and now the ones below were basically shouting at like 6:15. So like I was probably too loud now, but I don't know. Like I just I'm yeah. So I'm not motivated like most. It's never a pleasure to get woken up, and so like as much as my mother understood. So this was just for how I came up with the selection of numbers. So like if it's a roulette and this roulette has more like 200 numbers, you have to make a selection. And so it was this Snoopy permutations, so just permutations of 25. 52 would be in there as well. That would just be a Snoopy in the other direction, but 500 is outside of the range. And then 42 and 43, but that part my mother didn't get. So like, and then here the message is, so like, obviously I was already thinking of this connection, right? And also Snoopy and 25, and then P, and like I once, like, well, there it's about this, like, there are people that know the periodic system by heart, or they know like 100 digits of P, but they don't get what it is about. So they just learn that by heart, and it's actually like they wouldn't be able to like on their own make an approximation for P. So like they absolutely don't get what the Kreiszahl is about. They just learn those digits, and that's not the same. Like, that's exactly the difference between like learning words in Latin or ancient Greek to actually understanding like why we like they yeah. And so the high score is 312 instead of 314. So everyone that passed the Matura, like 3.141, like everyone knows, or you wouldn't pass the first year of physics if you don't remember. You don't need it. You never need it. You never need P that exact. But everyone knows. I don't remember much more. Like 5, 6, 9 pro. I don't remember much more. But you never need it. So it's always enough for like this calculation. Like the example. So if you wanna so like you have a metal band, the equator, and you wanna put it 1 meter above the level it is at the moment. So that's if you have this simple formula, so the Umfang is 2 times r times p, then it just is obvious. It's like 2 times 1 meter, so 1, and p 2 times p is roughly 6 point something, right? So unlike many would answer in our class as well, that you cannot even buy this much, like Maschendrahtzaun or whatever it is. It's just you don't even need 7 meters, right? And for that it doesn't matter again, like if P is 3 or and that's what they don't get. It's the exact same as Einsteins formula. So you have a constant. The Lichtgeschwindigkeit is a constant. So a constant is never like, that's the easiest you can have. So C, also Lichtgeschwindigkeit squared, is still a constant. So you can move that part into like the units even. It's that's what they don't get. It's exactly as simple as this example, right? So if you wanna, if you yeah, but like that's something we should have encountered in elementary school. But the issue is that I do not know of I did not encounter an elementary school teacher that is actually familiar they wouldn't be able to solve those examples on their own. And this is where the math, so my math Zahlenrätsel is important as well, because it's just elementary school operations, and like it's that's really tricky, and it shows that like the problem is that I mean, I had this example yesterday with my mother again. So she explained Petra about the system in Switzerland. So how we vote on like, well, if there is a Initiative on the ballot, you need the Ständemeer on top of the votes. And well, that's, in my opinion, too much power to the smaller, like cantone, but this is how our system works. And then you have kind of similar to the United States, the Senate and like the House. We have the Nationalrat that is but like this overview my and the Ständerat and like the presidents, and so like this overview my mother was completely able to make. But when it comes to our like social security system, she has no clue, like because it was not part of the like history lessons or whatever that was that were graded. And it's the same, just because you learn something in elementary schools, so some of it, especially in math, is actually kind of hindering your progress, because you like you don't learn thinking like how to count binary, or how you come up with the decimal system. We don't learn that proper because they don't get it. So the teachers, they don't get it. They don't get the issue. That they are just and in some regards you are actually because you kind of have to undo their like that they don't get it, right? So that's something, well, Gauss managed in elementary school, but there are others that like myself, that need longer to undo this wrong-coiled teaching, because yeah, like they and that's the problem. They just accept everywhere, not just and then well then nothing makes sense at some point. And the issue is that my mother doesn't like when it comes to something like that. She just has she just wanna, like Trump basically. She just wants to pretend she knows, but she has no clue. And why does she need to pretend? It's the same, like at least Petra doesn't pretend she knows. Like from Austria, you don't need to know. You don't vote here, so why would you need to know that? So you don't pretend you know. But that's the danger. They pretend. They are always used. So that's their whole well, it's always like so the example that we do not even like they learned that you about how you place the knife and fork on the table. Now my mother is not even able to use a spoon with like both hands. So the solution would be that we switch every day so that you are able to use both hands for tasks like that, right? And it's just, it makes no sense. Why don't we do that? But it's just tradition, and they are not able to question that on their own. And yes, that would actually change a lot. So in soccer, I did that so that I'm able to use both legs, right? So it's the same. And we had many that for them it was too late. So they were just using, and if you are not like Arjen Robben, that you are the fastest, and like he basically just used the left foot for the most part, and then they put him on the kind of opposite side, so the defenders were, but like, yeah, that's the same issue, and like it was wrong. My grandfather was left-handed as well on the mother's side, so he had to relearn. But now it makes no sense. We don't have like ink that can like that you no longer need to learn how to write with ink. You will never use ink nowadays. And that's how that generation is stuck in so many regards, right? Now, then the Fischer exact test. So this is another issue. Well, you find it you find it, of course, in Wikipedia and so on. So it is, and my mother didn't get that on her own, and that's the part where like I checked with my math teacher, but how you set this up, that was actually, my father had a lot of experience with that, and he was in that he was correct with everything. So that was not like, that's not that, it's not that simple. But the problem is that my father pretends like he would never be able to come up with like his own test. So like that is above the level we had at like third year mathematics. Physics is basically the same up to that point. So we would not have been able to show a proof why the Fischer exact test works. So that's real tricky with like so like you can so like you probably find that in the in here somewhere. So like the nah, this is not even like, this is just a derivation. This is not like you would have a lot of like those you would need a lot of probability combinatorics, those yeah, so that's not, that's like well, that's not something that was never asked in an exam at EDH. So we would not have been able, for the most part, we would not have been able. And my father forgets that this is the real work. He's just used to apply something. And he has experience, like he can, he has an understanding how a data set behaves like with other tests as well. So that's a skill my mother doesn't have yet. And she doesn't get it. Why it's important to, like, if there, yeah. But the example where it is why we came up with this test for the question. So the question is like if you play a game where someone is cheating. So that's what that's what the title is of the project, right? Is coincidence random? So, or is someone like a poker or online roulette? Is it fair? So that's the question, and for that you use the Fischer Test. So like if it's a game where it's given which number wins in each situation, and then it becomes the question. So like if you wanna cheat cleverly, you probably don't always cheat if you have the choice, right? But that's the hypothesis you test, and of course you expect basically the result my mother got completely random, right? But that's not what I got, and that's what they don't get. So the in summary, but like I will not be able to, like I don't have the Internetverlauf. I took the screenshots. So like with the like with the, and I have these researchers like honor. So especially if there. If it would not have been interesting, I would have never come up to even do this, right? So like it's like that's just not, but I cannot really prove it. So for now, the first step is that you come to the same point as my father, that you like my father got that this p-value, so basically it is 52 measurements, and well 6 or 7 that like already 2 statements underlined with this method would be a highly significant p-value. So that's something we can easily do again. So like it's just so any Fischer test on the internet works, of course. So you have 2 groups and 2 categories, and as far as I know, it's even symmetrical. So it doesn't really matter. But that's why we made this table, so that you fill in properly. And so we have so that's fine. So I don't need category and group names. That's fine. So it's just one field is the, like in this case 6 six the ones that were important statements and were underlined. Then there are 0 and 0 here, and 52 minus 6 is 46, right? So that's all you have to do for to get the p-value, and this p-value is well, this is maybe that it doesn't even so like I don't really want the significance level. I want the exact p-value. Oh yeah, so this is already 1 in 100,000, I guess, right? And if we do just 1, now I would need 51 here, right? But it's just how this test behaves depending on your data set. So now it's something in 0.12. That's more like that's more like having. So what is the p-value for p-value 4 underjassen? So this is just no, it doesn't find it with it doesn't find it like that, I guess. But that is, if I remember, so it doesn't even answer. KI doesn't even answer that simple question. I think it's something like that. So one in 467. So the p-value would be 1 over 467. So oh no, and then the exact so this exact four cards is less. So what was it? It was yeah, but like so percent would be let's go back. So it no. So I guess it would be more like 2 then. Yeah, but this is like with oh, now I have to fill in the zeros. This is like with the chess joke I made or this Fibonacci joke. So that is now 0.008. So 1 in 500. What is 1 in 500? So how many 002? Oh no, now I already egal. But it's somewhere between 1 and 2. But I got 6 or 7. And so like with this chess, so choke. So the question, no, like it goes like that. The Sultan or whatever for inventing that game offered like a wish, and then the inventor comes up with this like reasonable wish, just one rice corn on the first field and double that for all the 64 fields. And like this is another, like if you don't calculate that, it's hard to estimate the magnitude of how much rice that is, but it's like 10 cents. So there is not enough rice harvested to fulfill that wish, right? So that's but basically it's just that, and the problem is that most, like the average human being is not able to has not a proper understanding of like exponential growth and like the variance. So that's why they like so many gambling addicts, they that's all there is to it. They don't get that part. So there are gamblers that continue because they just want to gamble and like they are aware they are losing at the rate they do, but for the most part it's worse. They really don't get so the with sports betting as well, so they really don't get how unlikely, and that's why it's important that you don't get cheated, because if you don't understand, nowadays it's not just on the market, because like in Switzerland you don't bargain in the like Migros Coop, but like they are not aware how they get scammed because they just don't get those it's this simple, and this is why it's such an important project. Even if you you have to get an understanding how much is lacking in our education. So this is like they don't learn much more if they study economics, but it is an essential part, or psychology as well.